Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is What If Naruto Got Harem with Hana and her mother, Tsume, Part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Naruto sat in the branches of a tree next to his team's usual training area. Naruto couldn't help but think back to the mission his team had just finished. Needless to say that without Getu breathing down their necks and Zabuza on their side the mission went off without a hitch. Naruto smiled as he recalled how hard Kiba tried to get Haku's attention and how Hana kept embarrassing the poor boy. Naruto chuckled as he remembered Kiba chasing Hana around trying to shut her up. Find something funny, brat. Naruto flicked his eyes towards the voice and tensed when he saw Tsume standing in the training field with Kuromaru at her side. Turning his eyes forward but keeping her in his sights, Naruto said, "Nothing, just reminiscing." Tsume raised an eyebrow at those words. "Oh, about what, brat?" Tsume asked, making Naruto sigh again. "It matters not. So tell me what brings you out here to my territory?" Naruto asked while slowly pointing his eyes towards her. Tsume gave a feral smile at that. "That eye of yours and something that happened on our mission. So you going to talk, brat, or am I going to have to beat it out of you?" Tsume questioned while cracking her knuckles. "You know, if I were anybody else in this damned village asking about my eye would be trying to steal clan secrets, but seeing as it's me I guess I don't have a choice but to tell my precious sensei." Naruto responded, the anger showing clearly in his voice. Tsume's eyes widened at this. "What are you talking about, brat? Don't have a choice but to tell me?" Tsume asked, looking confused. "Tell me, Inuzuka-sama, have any of the techniques of your family, even the ones you make just to pass on to your children alone, ever been placed in the Hokage's vault?" Naruto inquired, making Tsume send him a questioning look. "No, of course not. All you have to do is claim that they are lineage techniques and they, by law, can't be placed in the vault." Naruto chuckled at the feral woman's response. "Oh, by law you say, Inuzuka-sama? Then tell me, Inuzuka-sama, why is it that I was ordered under penalty of death to hand over my techniques to the village? Does the law not protect me as well, Inuzuka-sama, or am I not a part of your precious leaf village?" Naruto finished his rant and then turned his back on the feral woman. Cocking his head back, Naruto showed his single blue eye filled with anger and sadness. "If you wish to know anything about my eye and what happened during the mission, then go and talk to Sarutobi-san." That said, Naruto jumped into the tree line, leaving Tsume and Kuromaru in the clearing. "Kuromaru, do you think he's lying?" Tsume asked the massive animal that stood by her side. "To be honest with you, Tsume, I'm not sure anymore." Kuromaru responded as both stared at the place the blonde-haired boy had once occupied. Hokage's tower. Sarutobi sat in his office signing paperwork inside. "Man, what I wouldn't give for a distraction." Just as the thought passed through Sarutobi's mind, the door to his office came flying off of its hinges. Leaning his head slightly to the left to avoid a stray piece of wood, Sarutobi came face to face to a very pissed off Inuzuka. Tsume looks like she's going to kill someone. So someone either with her kids or she's confused, please let it be the first one. Sarutobi thought as the Inuzuka matriarch and her companion same striding into his office. "Can I help you, Tsume-san?" Sarutobi asked, drawing a glare from the woman. "Kemari Naruto. Tell me all you know about him now." Tsume growled out, causing Sarutobi to drop his head. "Now, Tsume-san, I'm sure if you asked him yourself you could get your answers." This response only drew a harsher glare from the feral woman. "No, it doesn't, Sarutobi-sama. I swear the boy doesn't make any sense. First it's that damn eye of his. Then I swear I saw the demon fox while we were on our C-rank mission. He tortured someone, Sarutobi. He's a fucking genin, he shouldn't know how to do that. Then he says that all the techniques he made, he claims that he was forced to put all his techniques in your vault. It doesn't make any damn sense, Sarutobi." Sarutobi watched as Tsume ranted and gathered all the information he could. "Okay then, Tsume-san, how about we start slow? What is it that you want to know about the young Kemari?" Sarutobi asked, making Tsume give a small sigh of relief. Okay, then how about we start with the technique thing? Is it true that he had to give up all his techniques? Tsume asked, drawing a dark look from Sarutobi. I'm afraid it is true, Tsume-san. Any technique that Naruto creates will be recorded and placed into the Hokage vault. Hearing this, Tsume growled. Why? Tsume asked, making Sarutobi sigh. The council said that they couldn't be labeled as clan or lineage techniques because one person isn't a clan. Sarutobi's response made Tsume growl deeply in her throat. That's bullshit. I know that one-eyed bastard's Reikiri isn't in there, so why are the brats? Sarutobi felt a tear roll down his face at her question. Because the council feels that Kakashi has a chance of having children to pass his techniques onto. To directly quote my old teammate, no decent girl would ever touch the one-eyed demon brat, Sarutobi said, making all the sound in the room stop. Damn it. It may have been the brat's fault that Kita is dead, but to steal from a child, Sarutobi. Not even I would stoop that low. Sarutobi steeled himself at her words but tried to push forward. Yes, I know, but my hands are tied until he has children. So on to your next question, Tsume-san. Tsume glared at the monk's words but complied. Alright then, his eye, what does it do? How does it work? Tsume asked, making Sarutobi give a small shake of his head. Naruto-kun's eye is a strange mixture of his own natural healing, the Kyuubi's chakra, and healing chakra. You see, on the boy's 7th birthday he had an attack on him. Although the attack lasted 3 hours, the only wound we found on him was his missing eye. When we rushed him back to the hospital, where I had my most trusted physician look at the boy. As the medic nin tried to stop the bleeding from the poor boy's eye socket, the Kyuubi's chakra was trying to regrow the eye the boy had lost. The two chakras were conflicting, however, thus activating the boy's natural healing ability. The boy's body kicked in to stop the conflict. The body, not seeing any other choice, trapped the two chakras into the boy's eye socket to not allow the conflicting chakras to travel elsewhere. Now then, on to what the eye can do. You see, Naruto's eye, or the Genagon Phantom Eye, as some have come to call it, has the ability to take energy from other beings and store it into the eye socket. The eye's power all depends on the amount of energy absorbed into the socket. So far I know that Naruto has absorbed 4 energies. Blue chakra. With this, Naruto has the ability to become one with his elements. This is how Naruto becomes a god in his Kiri no Senka technique. The drawback to this is the chakra consumption is huge even for a Jinchuriki. Yellow killing intent. With this, Naruto could drag any one emotion that someone else has felt for you and push it through your body at one time. The drawback to this is that Naruto must feel the same emotions that the opponent does. Green Ice healing chakra. With this, Naruto has the ability to drag the souls back from the pits of hell. The drawback to this is time off of Naruto's own life and the pain the patient felt when dying. Red Yokai. This is the chakra that Naruto stole from the demon fox. With this, Naruto's strength, speed, and reflexes all increase 100-fold. However, the drawback is that Naruto is in a rage while this is happening. That is all I know of Naruto-kun's eye. If you want to know more, then you will have to ask him yourself. Sarutobi said, making Tsume look at the floor and growl. Turning her back, Tsume started towards but stopped in the doorway and cocked her head. You know, Sarutobi, I may not like the brat, hell, I hate the little shit, but he did say something to me that had to get me thinking. Does the law not protect me as well, Inuzuka-sama, or am I not a part of your precious leaf village? Those were the words he said to me before he left today and sent me to you. Just thought you should know that. With that said, Tsume walked out of the Hokage's office, leaving the older ninja alone with his thoughts. As Sarutobi stared at the space that the older Inuzuka had occupied, he glared deeply. No, you are part of the Leaf Village, Naruto-kun, and it's about time I started acting like it. Sarutobi stood from his seat. ANBU. At his word, 4 masked figures appeared in the elderly monk's office. Yes, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi gave the masked ninja an steeled look. Gather the council. I'm taking back control of my village. At those words, the ANBU smirked under their masks. Right away, sir. With that, the ANBU disappeared to do their designated tasks. In the streets of Konoha. Tsume walked down the streets, her faithful companion at her side, and couldn't help but look for her blonde-haired pupil. Damn it, where is the brat? Tsume's rage was cut short by a guttural chuckle coming from behind her. It seems master was right, you domesticated pups are rather amusing when you aren't pissing us off. Tsume turned towards the voice to see the massive red fox that belonged to her student. What do you want, fox? Kuromaru asked, a growl appearing in his voice. Enmaku laughed at the dog's threat. Please mutt, you're about 100 years too early to be trying to take me on. Besides, I'm not here for you, so go piss on a fire hydrant somewhere. The fox's response made Kuromaru growl and lay his ear flat. Tsume placed a hand on her partner's head and stared at the massive fox. If you're not here for a fight, then why are you here? Tsume asked, making Enmaku smile. Master did mention you were smarter than you appeared. No, I'm here for my master. As much as my master may not like it, I hate to see him continue to live like this. So if he won't go to your Hokage, I was hoping you would for him. Enmaku said, making Tsume glare. Then why didn't ask Shino if you forgot I hate your master? Hearing Tsume's response, Enmaku turned his back on the two. I was trying to do as my master had asked, and how was it he put, extend an olive branch, to you Inuzuka vermin, but it seems you all are part dog deep down. Tsume smiled with pride at this, only for it to drop at his next words. Yes, just like dogs, unless someone scratches your ears you just want to piss on them. Filthy mutts. With that, Enmaku walked away from the duo and disappeared into the shadows. Tsume growled at the fox's words and turned and ran towards her clan compound. Next morning, Hokage Mountain. Naruto sat on top of the fourth's head, staring as the sun slowly started to make its way over the tops of the trees. Naruto smiled under his mask as he saw the rays of light strike the hidden leaf and seem to set it aflame. This is a shining example of the will of fire, hey ANBU-san. Naruto said and cocked his head to look at the rabbit-masked ninja. I believe it is Kemari-san, but I'm not here for pleasantries. No, the Hokage has a mission for you and your team. The ANBU said, making Naruto smile. Thank you for telling me, I'll be there shortly. Naruto said, making the ANBU nod and disappear. Naruto turned back to the sunrise and smiled. Hokage's office. Where the fuck is he? Kiba yelled, only to get face planted into the ground. Kiba, behave, we are in front of the Hokage and his guest. Hana admonished, making her little brother glare at her. I don't care, Hana, that little shit should have been here half an hour ago. The Hokage chuckled at the boy's words. As Hana was about to apologize for her brother's actions, Sarutobi cut her off. No, Inuzuka-san, he is right, Naruto-kun should have been here a half an hour ago. A light wispy chuckle made its way into the ears of all those present. Yes, but you should have known better than to interrupt me while I was watching the sun rise, Hokage-san. Everyone in the room turned towards a dark corner of the room to see Kemari Naruto leaning against a wall. Sarutobi chuckled. Oh, Naruto-kun, what if it was important? Naruto chuckled at the old man's question. Then you wouldn't have sent Rabbit to get me. You know how easily that man gets distracted. Naruto said, making Sarutobi laugh. True. Now then, Team 10, I have a very important mission for you. You are to escort these four around the village for their first day here. As Sarutobi said this, a snort resounded through the office. I know my way around, old man. This isn't the first time I've been here. Everyone turned towards the voice to see a woman in her late 30s, early 40s with waist-length red hair and jade-green eyes. Standing behind the woman were four children about 13 in age. The first one was a boy standing at about 5'4" with straight black hair and brown eyes. The boy wore a long-sleeved turtleneck shirt and khaki shorts. The next one was a girl. She had her brown hair spiked in the back and bangs covering one eye. She was wearing a loose-fitting sweater and blue jeans that were taped at the ends. The final person was also a girl that looked suspiciously like the older woman, but instead of green eyes she had cerulean eyes staring out from behind her red hair. Sarutobi smiled at the woman. Yes, Kushina, I know you used to live here, but this is simply protocol. Kushina rolled her eyes at the old man's words. So old man, who do we have leading us around here? Kushina asked, causing Sarutobi to lose all semblance of a smile. Kushina, you are going to be lead around by Inuzuka Tsume, Inuzuka Hana, Inuzuka Kiba, and Shino Aburama. Kushina nodded at the old man's words and then turned her eyes onto the blonde-haired smoke user. What about him? Kushina asked, making Naruto roll his eye. Sarutobi gave a sigh. Kushina, this is Kemari Naruto, formerly known as Uzumaki Naruto, your son. At those words, the temperature of the room seemed to drop 30 degrees. Team 10 watched as the two redheads gave Naruto evil glares. Naruto looked at the two that were glaring at him. You know, for being the wife and daughter of the fourth Hokage, you aren't all that scary. Naruto said, making the glare increase in intensity. Watch what you say, demon. The younger redhead yelled, making Naruto laugh. Sarutobi glared at the girl. Kushina, control your daughter. Sarutobi yelled, making Kushina look at him and making Naruto laugh harder. Ah, it's cute, the little girl thinks she knows what a demon looks like. Let me tell you something, little girl, you know nothing of demons, so don't speak lest you lose your tongue. Naruto said, making the young redhead grit her teeth and pull a kunai. I'll fucking kill you for taking my brother's form, you demon. The girl said, making Naruto smirk beneath his mask and touch his forehead protector. Oh, is that a fact, little girl? Then tell me, are you prepared to face your phantoms? Naruto asked and slowly started to raise his forehead protector. Naruto, that's enough. Sarutobi yelled, making Naruto chuckle and lower his forehead protector back down and said. So be it, Sarutobi. Naruto turned his back on the group. Are we going? Some of us have better things to do than lead little children around on a leash. Naruto said, making the four people grit their teeth. The voice of the Hokage stopped Naruto from leaving the office. Naruto. Cocking his head back, Naruto raised an eyebrow. Yeah, old man. Sarutobi smiled at the informal response and held up a scroll. Naruto's eyes widened. My jutsu. What of them? Sarutobi gave a light laugh at the question and then spun the scroll to show the boy the small tag on it. From here on, in any jutsu that you come up with is your own and does not belong to this village. If you choose to make a clan, then so be it, however, it is not for this village to dictate. That being said, Sarutobi threw the scroll into the air. Naruto smiled as he saw the scroll catch fire. Turning back around, Naruto fought back tears. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Naruto said and then walked out of the office. As the Hokage watched the blonde-haired boy walk out of the office, he looked around at all the other people in his office. Tsume, if I were you, I would go after your student. Sarutobi said, making all of Team 10 nod and rush out the door, followed closely by their charges. Outside the Hokage Tower. Naruto smirked as he saw his team come rushing out of the Hokage Tower and stop right in front of him. Kiba glared at the blonde boy and yelled. Damn it, Kemari. First you're a half an hour late, then we're told that you are related to the fourth, and now you're running off on your own. What the fuck, man? Naruto glared at the boy. Kiba, shut up, he clearly doesn't want to talk about it. Hana said, making Kaiba give his sister an incredulous look. Are you serious? Why wouldn't he want to talk about it? I mean, he's the son of the fourth and he found his long-lost mother and sister. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it? Kiba yelled, making everyone in the group look at him and two people from their group of charges glare at him. Naruto turned his back on the group and said. Let's get one thing straight, Kiba. I'm an orphan. My parents and any siblings I had died in the Kyuubi attack. There is nothing more than that. Kiba stared at the back of the blonde head. But what about, this time it was his mother that stopped him. Kiba, I think it's best you dropped it. Kiba looked at his mother but complied. As Team 10 lead the group through the streets of Konoha, a member of the team was talking to each of the members of the group they were escorting. After about 20 minutes of walking, the brown-haired girl couldn't hold it in anymore. Hey, you blonde. Naruto cocked his head towards the girl and raised an eyebrow. Yes. The girl smiled at his response. Yeah, dog boy doesn't seem to know, so what are you hiding under your headband? The girl asked or ordered. Naruto turned his head forward and continued walking. And what else would be under there? Naruto responded, making the girl gain a tick in her forehead. Don't bullshit me, no one covers their eye for no reason. Naruto chuckles at the girl's small rant. You're right, no one covers their eye without reason. Naruto said and continued on his path, completely ignoring the rest of the group. The brown-haired girl stormed up to the boy and grabbed his shoulder. Don't ignore me. What's the reason you cover your eye? Is it like Sharingan no Kakashi? What does it do? How did you lose your eye? What? Naruto cut the girl's questions short with a glacial glare. Unless you want to lose that arm, you'll remove your hand from my shoulder. Do I make myself clear? Naruto said in an ice-like voice that sent shivers down everyone's spines. The brown-haired girl jerked her hand back away from his shoulder, making Naruto smirk under his mask. Now then, as for your questions. I keep it covered because I don't have a reason for it to be uncovered. No, I didn't steal it like that Kakashi bastard. I'm not going to tell you what it does. Now, how I lost my eye, now that's an interesting story. A story of anger and pain, a story where the strongest man in this village was brought to tears. You see, it all started on October 10th, 6 years ago. Flashback. Naruto ran down the streets trying to avoid the riot of people that he knew was hot on his heels. Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have come out today. Shit, I'm so screwed. Naruto mumbled to himself as he took a left down another alley. Naruto couldn't help but gasp when he heard a howl followed by a cheer from the group that was chasing him. Damn it, they have dogs. There's no hiding now, just got to make it to the tower before they find me. Just as those words left Naruto's mouth, four kunai landed in front of him. Turning away from the weapons, Naruto came face to face with the crowd. As the crowd advanced, Naruto dropped into a fetal position, trying to stop any damage to his face. Naruto felt at every punch, every kick. Naruto screamed as he felt the ninja start to get involved. He cried as he felt a kunai penetrate his kidneys. Naruto opened his eyes in shock, however, when he felt himself being pried out of the fetal position. Looking up, Naruto gasped as the last thing he saw was two glowing golden eyes glaring into his own. Flashback. You know, it's funny how everyone perceives cages as these strong protective beings. Yet because of that, I know a simple way in which to make the strongest man in this village cry. Naruto finished his story, making everyone except two go wide-eyed while the two redheads glared daggers at the one-eyed boy. What do you mean? The brunette asked, making Naruto smile. It's rather simple, really. Take one 7-year-old, rip out his eye and shove him in an alley while he sings to himself. Kiba looked up at this. Sing to himself? What would he be singing? Naruto smirked under his mask at Kiba's words and started walking away. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. It has been 3 days since Naruto told his team and their charges about how he got his eye, and now he was feeling pretty damn good. It was now noon and that annoying little brat of Kushina's hasn't bothered him once. Taking a look behind him, Naruto let out a sigh. Konohamaru rocks aren't symmetric, nor do they have eye holes. As Naruto said this, a slight explosion went off. As the smoke cleared, there stood 3 small children. The one in the middle smiled at the blonde. Hey boss, you said you would play and teach us today. Konohamaru yelled, making Naruto chuckle. Turning to face them and crouching down, Naruto laid his hand on the boy's head. So I did. Tell you what, was all Naruto got out before he was cut off. What corrupting little children now, demon? Naruto inwardly groaned at the voice. Cocking his head to the side, Naruto glared at the red-haired girl that stood behind him. Why don't you play in a ditch somewhere, little girl, and leave the adults to talk? Naruto said, making the redhead grit her teeth in anger. The younger redhead was about to respond when the young boy's voice asked. Hey boss, is she your, you know? Konohamaru asked while sticking up his pinky. The redhead glared at the boy and said, Watch what you say, brat, or all. As she took a threatening step towards the group, she was met with a pitch-black blade at her neck. Looking up at the owner, she found herself looking into a glacier-like eye. I'd watch how you tread here, Namikaze. This isn't Whirlpool where mommy rules. You are now in my territory messing with my people, and I don't care whom your daddy was, I'll cut you down just as fast as I would anyone else who threatened what's precious to me. Naruto finished his speech and unsummoned his blade. Turning back to the group, Naruto smiled when he saw the stars in their eyes. Wow boss, that was so cool. Could you teach us that? Huh, could you? Naruto chuckled at Konohamaru's excitement. I'll make you three a deal. I'll give you a 10-second head start, and if you can stay hidden from me for 5 minutes, then I'll give you the rudimentary lessons on sealing things, okay? Naruto asked, making the kids nod and then shoot off. Once he saw the children turn a corner, Naruto stood and started walking the other way. The redhead watched as the boy walked the opposite direction. Hey demon, they ran the opposite way. She yelled, making Naruto cock his head but not stop walking. Yep, was all Naruto said, and then continued on his way. The redhead was about to respond when a high-pitched scream cut her off. Naruto's eyes widened at the scream. Turning around, Naruto shot towards the direction the kids were running earlier, the redhead hot on his heels. Once Naruto turned into the alley, the three kids ran down. He stopped. There, standing in the middle of the alley, was a boy who looked a little older than Naruto. He was wearing what appeared to be a cat costume and face paint, but what Naruto noticed was that he holding Konohamaru. Feeling someone pulling on his pants leg, Naruto looked down to see Miyogi and Udon looking up at him. Boss, you've got to help Ko-kun, Miyogi said, making Naruto smile at the girl. Looking back at the boy, Naruto glared as he saw him about to hit Konohamaru. If you finish that motion, you will be going home without a head, Suna-nin. Naruto's voice cut through the mind of the costume-wearing Suna-nin, making him stop his arm just before he hit the little kid. The costume-wearing nin growled. Great, more weaklings, he said, making Naruto chuckle. You're the one picking on a 7-year-old and I'm the weakling? I don't think so. Now then, why don't you put Konohamaru down before I make you live to regret it? Naruto said, making the Suna-nin grin. Why don't you make me tree hugger? The Suna-nin said, making Naruto sigh. You know, it could be the fact that you're dumb enough to threaten the Hokage's grandson. Or the fact of that short little shit in the tree thinks he can hide from me. Or maybe it's the blonde-haired beauty behind you is looking more at the annoying redhead behind me than she is me. But something about you really, really, pisses me off. At Naruto's last words, he seemed to disappear. Reappearing inside the Suna-nin's guard, Naruto broke his hold on Konohamaru and kicked the nin into the air. Setting Konohamaru onto the ground, Naruto jumped up after the nin. Once Naruto reached him, the nin watched as he lashed out with a kick to the kidneys. The nin braced himself for pain, only to see Naruto's foot seem to phase through his body. Flipping over, Naruto went for a kick to his ribs and phased his foot through the nin's body again. As a final attack, Naruto gave an axe kick to the boy's head, once again phasing his foot, as it was about to hit. The Suna-nin landed on his feet and looked over to see a smug-looking blonde, a confused redhead, and 3 confused children hiding behind the blonde. Need trick blonde, but what was that supposed to do? The nin asked. Naruto smiled and looked at Konohamaru. Tell me, Konohamaru, what was the first lesson I gave you and your friends? Naruto asked, making the little kid look up in confusion. You said to always look beyond what you see. You said that if there are 2 blue lines drawn on a paper, then there is always a white line made. You said that if you can make your opponent only see the blue lines but miss the white, then you could win every time. Naruto smiled at the boy's response. That's right, Konohamaru, and you are about to get a lesson in that right now. Haijutsu. Chuburu Kemari, secret technique. Secondhand smoke. At Naruto's last words, everyone gasped as they saw the Suna-nin being tossed into the air again. Everyone watched, as the Suna-nin seemed to be struck in the kidneys, ribs, and then sent into the ground with a strike to the head. The blonde-haired girl behind the costume-wearing nin yelled. Kankuro, are you alright? Naruto raised an eyebrow as he saw the newly dubbed Kankuro step out of the smoke, blood dripping from his mouth and nose. As he reached for the object on his back, a cold, emotionless voice cut him off. Kankuro, stop. You are an embarrassment to our village, and if you continue, I'll kill you. Naruto turned towards the voice and said. So the short little shit finally decides to talk, does he? I'm impressed. A small swirl of sand appeared in front of the two Sunanin and out of it stepped a short red-haired child. Naruto rolled his eye at the sight and turned his back on the nin. As Naruto was about to walk away, he was stopped by the same emotionless voice. You, what is your name? Naruto was about to respond when he was beaten to it. I'm Namikaze Aiko, the red-head at Naruto's side said with a smirk. The red-haired Sunanin glared at the girl. Not you, him. Naruto cocked his head back and looking into the red-head's eyes. Kemari Naruto. Naruto said and turned back around. Subaku no Gaara and I'm going to kill you. Naruto stopped and chuckled at those words. Good luck Gaara, stronger people than you have tried, but I'll meet your attempt. Tell me Gaara, are you ready to face your phantoms? Naruto asked and then continued on his way, ignoring the looks the other people were throwing him. Next morning training grounds. As Naruto sat relaxing in the branches of a tree, he couldn't help but smile when he heard the familiar buzzing sound of his high-collared friend. Hello Shino. You're early, Naruto said, looking at the trench coat-wearing lad that stood leaning against the tree he sat in. I had a run-in with the young Namikaze earlier, Shino said, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Oh, and how did that turn out? Naruto asked, making Shino look up. As long as you were not brought up, she was rather pleasant, Shino said, making Naruto chuckle. Jumping down, Naruto laid a hand on the bug user's shoulder. I'd watch it Shino, you keep talking like that and I'd think you like the young Namikaze, Naruto said, and then walking towards the center of the training field. Unknown to Shino, Naruto did catch the slight blush that appeared on the boy's face. Naruto thought and turned towards the bug user. So how is the new colony coming along? Naruto asked, making Shino push off the tree and take a step towards the blonde. It is full and they have already started working on one to add to the main Aburame hive, Shino said, making Naruto smirk under his mask. That's good. Now then, I'm going to assume that you have one regular Kikai colony and one Kemari Kikai colony, am I correct? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Shino. Yes, you are correct, Kemari-san, Shino replied, making Naruto smile. Good, have you checked your chakra pool lately? Naruto questioned, making Shino raise an eyebrow. You know as well as anyone, Kemari-san, that the chakra pool of an Aburame is almost non-existent due to the Kikai, so why should I check it? Naruto chuckled at that. Shino, for once just humor me, Naruto said, gaining a confused look from Shino. Very well. Shino decided to listen to the boy and tried to channel some chakra. As he held the ram seal, Shino couldn't help but gasp as he saw the blue outline that showed around him. Ripping his hands apart, he stared at Naruto in confusion. But how? The Kikai eat all the chakra? Naruto chuckled at that. You are right, normally the Kikai of your clan do eat all of your chakra. However, for that reason exactly is the reason that your bugs could never survive my smoke, Naruto said. Elaborate for me, Kemari-san, as I don't quite understand, Shino said. As Naruto was about to continue, another voice entered their ears. Yes, I would like to know why my son has excess chakra now as well, Kemari-san. Both boys turned their heads to see two high-collared faces walking out of the forest. Mother. Father. What is it that brings you here? Shino asked, making the female Aburame chuckle. Well, son, as your father said, we are curious as to why our son suddenly has an excess of chakra. So Kemari-san, would you care to explain? The woman asked, making Naruto chuckle. Gladly, Aburame-sama. You see, Shino, the reason that my smoke or any smoke really kills your bugs is because the toxins in the smoke get to your bugs' intestines and kills them. You see, because your bugs feed on pure chakra, they have never had any type of toxin in their intestines. So when I realized this, I had to make sure that the Kikai that Shino used were used to the toxins that smoke or poison created. I knew of only two ways to do this. Either I poison Shino's chakra supply, which could end up killing him, or I try and alter the Kikai he works with. So when I found the Kikai that Shino placed onto me, I used the same seal I used on Enmaku to change the physiology of his partners. Now unlike the Kikai who eat pure chakra, the Kemari Kikai eat the toxins that the body produces. Since Shino now has only one colony of Kikai that eat chakra, he has an excess of chakra. Naruto explained, getting a nod from the Aburame family. I see, thank you for that. Now then Shino, it seems you are going to be the first in our clan to ever have 3 colonies, so now then let's, Shibi said, only to get cut off by Naruto. If I may, Aburame-sama, I don't think you should get Shino another colony. Naruto said, making Shibi slightly angry. What are you talking about, boy? If he doesn't get another colony then he won't have enough Kikai too. Again the blonde cut off Shibi. Actually Aburame-sama, that isn't true. You see, when I changed the physiology of Shino's Kikai, I not only changed its ability to eat chakra. Shino, if you would please, only using the Kemari Kikai, tell them to devour that tree. Naruto said, gaining a confused look from the Aburame. Kemari-san, my bugs are useless against almost anything that isn't mammal. Naruto rolled his eye at this response. Shino, damn it, humor me and do it. Naruto said, making the Aburame give him a confused look. Shino raised his right hand that held his Kemari colony and aimed it towards the tree. Devour. With that simple command, a mass of solid black beetles flew from the boy's sleeves and onto the target. The Aburame watched as steam started to rise from the tree and a small hissing sound was heard. The clan's eyes widened as they saw where the colony of insects had gathered was slowly burning and melting. Like your Kikai can suck the chakra from another opponent, mine does the exact opposite and spits the concentrated form of the toxins at the opponent, causing them a mass amount of pain. Now Shino, do me a favor and create an insect clone. Naruto explained and smiled as he saw the boy start to do hand seals. Haijutsu. Kikai Bunshin, secret technique. Bug clone, Shino said and finished his jutsu. His family's eyes widened as they saw the Kemari Kikai as well as some of the regular Kikai form into an exact replica of Shino. Naruto smiled as he saw the surprised look on the Aburame's faces. As you can see, the Kemari Kikai have no problem adapting to the jutsu your family uses. And one better is, Naruto said and threw a kunai at the bug clone. As the clone exploded, the Aburame raised an eyebrow. So what, it's just like every other time it is struck. Shibi said, making Naruto chuckle. Is it? Look at the kunai. The 3 Aburame turned to look at the kunai only to see a smoldering pile of metal. Whipping back around, Shibi asked. How? Naruto chuckled. Just like your Kikai swarm and attack the enemy after being struck, the Kemari Kikai cling to the target as they are struck and start to secrete their toxins upon contact. Naruto said, making Shibi nod his head in understanding. Okay, so Shino could still do all of his techniques, so why wouldn't getting another hive be better? Mrs. Aburame asked, making Naruto smile. I'm not saying that getting another hive would be bad or anything. Hell, if Shino wanted to be eating something almost continuously, then he could get another hive of Kemari Kikai, but all I'm saying is that the Aburame clan is deadly enough as it is with 2 hives of your Kikai, and maybe Shino would like the opportunity to learn some jutsu besides his clans. As Naruto said this, the Aburame's eyes widened. Shino stared at his blonde-haired teammate in amazement. How? The Kikai are still eating half of the chakra my body produces. How could I use jutsu? Shino questioned, making Naruto eye smile. You are right, Shino, the Kikai are always eating exactly half of your chakra. And it is because of that you could use jutsu now. You see, chakra coils are a lot like a muscle. The more you work them, the stronger they get, and your Kikai have been eating your chakra since you were about 5 years old, I believe. This made your coils work harder to keep up with your continually growing colony. Now I'm not saying that you'll be able to throw out S-rank jutsu now that you have half your chakra to yourself, but you should be able to do a few C-rank ones and maybe a B-rank before you're out. Seeing the contemplative look on his teammate's face, Naruto patted the poor boy on the shoulder. Hey, don't tell me now. Why don't you go home with your parents and talk it over? I'll explain to Inuzuka-sama why you aren't here. Shino nodded and disappeared, his family going shortly afterwards. Naruto smiled as he watched his teammate disappear, only to be brought out of his musing by a voice. Well, now that was interesting. Cocking his back, Naruto I smiled at the sight of Inuzuka Hana lying on his favorite branch, her 3 nin dogs lying under her in the shade. Wasn't it though? Naruto said and turned towards the girl. Where's your mother and that scraggly looking stray you always have following you? Naruto asked, getting a confused look from Hana. Kiba. Hana asked, getting a pointed look from Naruto. Right, what did I say? Naruto responded, drawing a laugh from the feral girl. Giving Naruto a feral smile that would have any other guy panting, she responded. He smarted off and mom put him through the ringer. So he's getting patched up while my mom cools off. I was supposed to come here and take over yours and Shino's training, but seeing as Shino has some things to handle with his family. It looks like it's just you and me, stud. Hana said, making Naruto chuckle. Keep talking like that, Inuzuka-san, and I'm going to get worried you're going to hump my leg. Hana chuckled at that response. Would you be so repulsed by the thought? Hana said, drawing an unseen blush onto the boy's face. I have no response to that, said Naruto, making Hana pump her arm in victory, and making Naruto chuckle. So what is it we are training in today, Inuzuka-san? Naruto asked, making Hana shoot him a slight glare. Okay, first things first. No more of this Inuzuka-san shit, call me Hana, and second, since it's only you and I here, we are going to try and get to know each other. I know you hate the Inuzuka clan for some reason, but whatever it was, I don't care. I want this team to work whether you think it's a team or not. Naruto watched the girl as she ranted and sighed. I'm not escaping here without telling you at least something, am I? Hana shook her head at his question, making him sigh again. Okay, so what do you want to know? Naruto asked, making Hana think for a minute. That fox of yours, what can he do? Hana asked, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Unnoticed by Naruto but clearly seen by Hana was that Getokuyuku seemed to perk up at this. Enmaku. Well, I guess you could call him a supped up nin animal. You see, when Anamku was a kidling, his family was attacked and killed by some of the villagers. When I found them, I used an incomplete version of my Kiri no Senka technique and some scare tactics that were taught to me to get them to run. As they ran away, I cancelled the technique and walked into the clearing. As I saw what they did, I kind of wished I killed those bastards. They quartered his dad and skinned his mom. She was only able to give birth to him before she died. The bodies were too badly damaged for me to bring back with my eye. So I did the only thing I could at the time. I took Enmaku in with me. As he grew up, I knew that he would need a way for him to protect himself, or else the villagers would try and kill him too. So I tried to convince him to go and learn from your mutts, but he refused to leave me, so I did the next best thing. Using all the knowledge of seals and my new eye that I had, I changed his physiology so that he could channel the smoke chakra like I do. As the years passes, we were able to get him to replicate a lot of my techniques, and he even has some of his own creation. The only problem I've ever had with Enmaku is his overprotectiveness. If he has something he cares about, he's willing to rip the throat out of anyone who dares harm it. Naruto explained, causing Hana to go wide-eyed. I seem to recall you putting your claws to a young Namikaze's throat when she made to attack the kidlings you had with you at the time, sir. Cocking his head back, Naruto chuckled at the giant fox's words. Huh, so I did. It seems we have the same problem then, doesn't it, Enmaku? Enmaku chuckled at his master's words and strode over towards him. Only if you find it a problem, sir. Enmaku responded, making Naruto give an eye smile. Turning back towards Hana, Naruto said, Enmaku, why don't you go and try to get to know the Hiyamaru triplets? If I'm stuck here getting to know Hana, you're stuck getting to know her partners. Naruto said, making Enmaku raise an eyebrow. I'd hardly call you stuck, sir, but I'll comply. With that said, Enmaku strode over to the 3 nin dogs and complied with his master's wishes. Naruto smiled at Hana and said, So now, Hana-san, is there anything else you would like to know? Naruto asked, making Hana smile. The two sat in the clearing for the next hour, sharing information and stories. Hana smiled as she was able to draw a really laugh from the black-clad boy and asked, Naruto-san. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the change's address but responded, Yes, Hana-san. Naruto asked, getting a slightly sad smile from Hana. Why are you acting like this? Hana asked, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Acting like what, Hana-san? Naruto inquired, making Hana sigh. Why are you giving me a chance when it seems like you want to beat the shit out of my mother and brother? Hana shot back, making Naruto chuckle. I don't want to beat the shit out of your family, Hana-san. While I may not like your mother for personal reasons, and Kiba pisses me off because he still acts like a pup, I really don't hate your family. However, to answer your question, I'm giving you a chance because you are doing the same. Naruto answered, making Hana raise an eyebrow in confusion. What do you mean? Hana asked, drawing a slightly sad smile from the masked boy. Tell me, Hana-san, what has your mother told you about me? Naruto asked, making Hana lower her head. She said to stay away from you, that you were dangerous. That you were the reason that Aunt Akita is dead. Hana replied, making Naruto smile. She said that, and yet you are still here giving me a chance to prove myself. That reason alone is enough for me to give you a chance, Hana-san. Naruto responded, making Hana smile. A light growling caught the two ninjas' attention, however. The two turned and saw how Hana's three dogs interact with Enmaku, and she couldn't help but chuckle when she saw a light blush adorn Getokuyuku's face and the glare Enmaku sent her two other dogs. Well, they seem to be getting along. Hana said, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Yes, only because I have decided to give you a chance. The rest of your clan can burn, I'm afraid. Naruto said, drawing a light playful glare from the feral female. Enmaku said, you were hardly stuck here, what did he mean? Hana asked, making Naruto chuckle. What, you honestly didn't think you could keep me here if I wanted to leave, did you? Hana-san, I have escaped from ANBU teams, in a locked room, with no windows, or vents. Now tell me, if I wanted to leave, do you really think you could keep me here? Naruto said with a raised eyebrow. Then why did you stay? Naruto smirked at her question. Why wouldn't I? As you said, you wish for this team to work. If that is going to happen, then we need to know each other. As Naruto said this, he stood up and called Enmaku over to him. Naruto started walking away, Enmaku at his side. Hana's eyes widened. Wait, Naruto, I have something you need to take. Hana yelled. Naruto cocked his head and held up a green piece of paper. I stole it from you the second you were in reach. Just make sure that stray mud of yours shows up. Naruto said, and then turned back and went on his merry way. Hana smiled at the place Naruto once stood. You are an interesting one, Naruto. You are an interesting one. In the forest, Naruto looked down at the paper and said. Chunin exams, should be fun. Next day Academy. Naruto sat in the branches of a tree outside of Konoha Academy waiting on his two teammates. Hearing a light buzzing noise, Naruto turned towards the sound. Naruto smiled as he saw the high collar of his teammate. Naruto raised an eyebrow, however, when he saw a stick of Pocky in the young Abarame's mouth. I'm not even going to ask about the Pocky, but I feel you went with the extra colony. Naruto said, making Shino nod and swallow the rest of his Pocky. Yes. While I would like to learn some jutsu, until this exam is over, I believe it would be imperative that I stick to what I know instead of having chakra and not being able to use it. Naruto nodded at those words. Wise choice. After this exam, however, if you do choose to give up the other Kikai colony, then I'd be happy to teach you some jutsu. Naruto said, gaining a confused look from Shino. Naruto shot Shino a pointed look. What, you honestly didn't think all I knew were smoke jutsu, did you? You should know better than that. Come on, Shino, I can sense our little stray around the corner, so let's go get him before he makes an idiot out of us. Naruto said and jumped towards the chakra signature, Shino hot on his tail. Kiba jumped in surprise as Naruto's black-clad form landed in front of him. What took you so long, pup? Naruto asked, making Kiba glare at him. I was at the hospital making sure I was in top form before I came here. Kiba responded, making Naruto smirk. Making sure you are in top form, or just checking out Haku's form? Naruto asked, drawing a blush from the feral boy. Naruto chuckled and clapped the boy on the shoulder. Don't sweat it, mutt. At least we know you and the Uchiha now play for different teams. I was worried there for a minute. Naruto's words made Kita growl. Naruto-san, please stop antagonizing our teammate. We do need him for this exam. Shino said, making Naruto chuckle. Fine, I'll stop, for now. Naruto said and then walked into the doors that lead to the academy. As Team 10 walked up the first flight of stairs, they came across a crowd of people and an annoyingly familiar voice say, "Drop the genjutsu, we are going to the next floor." Naruto sighed as he heard the chicken-assed Uchiha say this. Shino, remind me first chance I get to kill that little shit. Naruto said, making Shino nod. The team continued on, ignoring the Uchiha as he got his kicked by some weird dude in a green leotard. At the door to the exam, Tsume met them. The matriarch of the Inuzuka clan smiled at the group. Good, you all made it. I was kind of worried someone would chicken out. Tsume said, drawing a small smile from two of the three boys. Looking at Naruto, Tsume raised an eyebrow. You look so happy to be here, brat. What's scared? Naruto stared at the door to the examination room. I get the feeling that by the time this is over, someone I know will be dead. Naruto said, sending chills down everyone's spine. Tsume looked at her team and said, Kiba, Shino, head on in, I need to talk to this brat. The two boys nodded and stepped into the room, leaving Tsume and Naruto in the hallway alone. Brat, I hate you, Tsume said, making Naruto chuckle. You aren't alone in that. If all you want to do is wish me death, then I have places to be. Naruto said, drawing a sigh from the feral woman. I hate you, but you are strong, stronger than probably anyone else in that room, and I know after all I've put you through I have no right to ask this, but Naruto cut her off before she could finish. Then don't. While I don't hate you, I'm not fond of you either. Hell, if I were a vengeful person, I would wish death on you and your entire clan. Tsume's head dropped slightly at this. But I'll keep your son safe. Tsume's eyes widened as he said that. Naruto turned away from the woman and walked into the room. Tsume stood there in the hall staring at the place that was once occupied by the blonde and let a small tear escape her eye. Thank you, was the last thing she said before she disappeared in a puff of smoke. Examination room. As Naruto walked into the room, he was assaulted by a mass of killing intent. Giving out a chuckle, Naruto matched the key with his own. Naruto rolled his eyes as he saw some of the genin shy away from him. Walking up to his team, he stopped as he heard his name being said. Kemari Naruto, formerly known as Uzumaki Naruto. Tokubetsu Genin. His abilities in Kenjutsu, Ninjutsu, and Funinjutsu are off the charts. He seems to have something wrong with his eye that he keeps under his forehead protector. It says the eye has the ability to, a blade pressed against his throat cut off the silver-haired genin that was speaking. And what do those cards say about you, I wonder? Would they say thief for sneaking into the Hokage's records where the only information on my eye is held? Would it say that someone whose chakra levels are as high as yours and who has this ability to get said info isn't a chunin yet? I suggest you hand me that deck of cards, kid, before you find your head rolling around on the floor. Naruto said, scaring everyone who was listening. The silver-haired genin handed the boy the deck of cards only to receive a swift kick to the head. I'd watch who you give info on next time, thief. I might not be vengeful, but others don't have that problem. Isn't that right, short shit? Naruto said, making Gaara release a blast of ki in his direction. Everyone turned when they heard a door come slamming open. No fighting during this test, brats. A scarred man yelled, scaring a few of the chunin hopefuls. Alright, brats, take your seats and I'll explain the rules. Rule 1. No talking. Rule 2. If you get caught cheating, then you lose 2 points. If any one of you reaches 0 points, then your entire team is disqualified. You have 40 minutes and then I'll give you the 10th question. Naruto kicked his feet up on the desk and watched as everyone else cheated his or her way through the test. Naruto smiled as he saw Shino get the answers from one of his insects. He chuckled internally as he saw Akumaru running around peeking at people's answers only to return them to Kiba. Naruto glared, however, when he saw the Uchiha copying the movements of the person in front of him with his Sharingan. Really Uchiha? The burning red eyes aren't a dead giveaway you're cheating. Naruto thought to himself and sighed. After about 15 minutes the scarred man approached Naruto. What's the matter, brat? Can't answer any of the questions. The scared man said, making Naruto smile. Now why would I need to do that, Ibiki, torture and interrogation specialist, when I already have the answer to every part of this exam? Naruto said, making Ibiki raise an eyebrow. Oh really, brat? Ibiki said in a menacing tone. Naruto chuckled at the stupid scare tactic. Reaching into his vest, Naruto pulled out a scroll and handed it to Ibiki. Ibiki took the scroll and unrolled it. As Ibiki read the scroll, his eyes widened. At the bottom he saw in perfect script. Well, Ibiki, is this good enough for information gathering? Rolling back up the scroll, Ibiki glared at the boy and chuckled lightly. Good move, boy, was all he said and turned away from Naruto, making him smile beneath his mask. Naruto relaxed for the next 25 minutes until he heard. Alright maggots, it's time for the 10th question and a little changing of the rules. From here on in, if you go for the next question and you don't get it, then you'll never be allowed to move past the rank of genin. So any of those who wish to drop out, you can try again next time. Naruto sighed as he saw team after team fall for the trick and walk out of the room. After about 10 minutes everyone stopped raising their hands, leaving the rookie 12, Whirlpool's team, Sound's team, 2 teams from grass, 3 from mist, and 2 sand teams. Just as Ibiki was about to start, a ball came crashing through the window. 2 kunai stuck into a wall and showed a banner that said, "The sexy and single Mitarashi Anko." The ball unfolded in the air to see a purple-haired woman wearing a trench coat and fishnet, and not much else. Naruto looked at the woman and smirked. Sexy definitely, but no way you're single. Naruto said, gaining a laugh from the girl. I'd watch it, brat, big mouths like you are usually the first to die. Just as Anko finished saying that, she flung a kunai at Naruto. Naruto tilted his head to the left, slightly avoiding the kunai. Anko appeared behind the boy, catching her kunai and placing it at his neck. And that is why you die? Naruto chuckled at her words and asked. Really? Anko raised an eyebrow at his question until she felt the light tapping of something against her back. Looking back, Anko laughed to see a kunai in the boy's hand, and it was lightly tapping her in the back right above the kidney. Ha, I like you, kid. Alright maggots, let's go. By the time I'm done with you, you'll be at least cut in half. 20 minutes later, Forest of Death. Alright maggots, sign these waivers and come up here. Anko yelled as the genin landed in the clearing outside the forest. One ninja from Mist raised his hand. Waivers. Anko looked at the boy and gave a menacing smirk. That's right, waivers. People die in this mission and we don't want Leaf to be held accountable. The genin nodded at the explanation. Aiko gave Naruto a menacing smirk. You hear that? Demon killing is allowed in this exam. You know what that means? The girl said, making Naruto chuckle. I don't know, you'll finally get your sick necrophilia kick. Naruto responded, making Aiko grit her teeth. No, it means I get to kill you without having problems from your village. The girl said through her teeth. Naruto rolled his eye at that. As I told Gaara, stronger ninja than you have tried, but if it makes you feel any better, I'll pretend to be scared of you. Naruto threw back and grabbed a scroll off the table. Walking back towards his team. Shino raised an eyebrow at Naruto's good mood. Seeing the expression, Naruto chuckled. I just put the Namikaze brat back in her place. Naruto said, making Shino shake his head. Hearing the buzzer, all the teams shot into the forest. Shino ran beside Naruto and asked. So what is the plan? Naruto turned to Kiba to see him looking at him expectantly as well. I would have to assume the first thing we do is get a heaven scroll, and then I want to go hunting. Kiba and Shino shared a confused look at the blonde's words. Hunting? Shino asked, making Naruto nod. Yes, hunting. Something doesn't sit right with me on the silver-haired boy that I took those cards from. Naruto said, making his teammates nod. Yeah, Kumaru said he smelled more powerful than Hana. Kiba said, confirming Naruto's thoughts. Despite her rank, Hana is easily Junin level. So when we attack this team, we'll remove his teammates first and then go after him as a team. Kiba, did you pick that mask up like I told you to? Naruto asked, making Kiba smile and nod. Good, because when the time comes I'll probably have to go all out. His two teammates nodded, making Naruto focus on the objective at hand. Hokage's office. At the same time as the second exam started, we find the third Hokage speaking to one Inuzuka Hana on a very popular topic nowadays. Hokage-sama, I know you told my mother to ask Naruto-san himself, and I tried that, and although I got farther than my mother did, no matter what I tried to ask him, he seemed to be able to answer the question without actually giving any answers. Hana said, making Sarutobi smile. Yes, Naruto-kun has that ability, I'm afraid. If the boy doesn't want you to know something, then you aren't going to know it, at least not from him. Well, how about we try and clear up some of your mysteries concerning Naruto-kun? Sarutobi said, making Hana smile. Well, Hokage-sama, Naruto-san seems to have very rapid mood swings. Is there something wrong with him? Hana asked, drawing a light sigh from Sarutobi. Ah yes, his mood swings. You see, Naruto-kun has those for several reasons. Tell me, Inuzuka-san, when you are about to leave for a mission, even AC rank, what happens before you leave? Sarutobi asked, making Hana raise an eyebrow. Well, I check my equipment to make sure I have everything. Then my mother questions me to make sure I have everything. I go out and pet Kuromaru, telling him goodbye. My mother and Kiba then meet me at the gates to the compound. Mom gives me a hug and tells me to come back safe, and then Kiba gives me a quick hug and tells me to give him hell. The mom smacks Kiba and I leave. Sarutobi nodded at her story and asked, and when you return? Hana gave a look of confusion but answered, I report to you, and then I head home. My mother and Kiba meet me at the door. Mom gives me a hug and tells me it's good to have me back safe, and Kiba tells me I look like hell, and I respond, you should see the other guy, and then we all laugh. Why do you ask, Hokage-sama? Sarutobi stared out the window as he listened to her story. Tell me, Inuzuka-san, have you ever come home from a mission where you mother and brother weren't there? Sarutobi asked. Hana gave a thoughtful look. No sir, they were always there when I got back, Mom made sure of that. Sarutobi smiled sadly at her response. Then tell me, Inuzuka-san, how do you think you would feel if your mother and brother weren't there? How would you feel if no one cared that you were fully packed and prepared? How would you feel and you left an empty house only to return to it on every mission? Hana pondered Sarutobi's questions for a bit. I don't know what I'd do. I mean, Mom and Kiba's always been there since I started doing missions. Sarutobi chuckled at the girl's response. Of course they were, you are a family and that is how it should be. For Naruto-kun, however, family was never as happy a memory as it was for you. Hana stared at Sarutobi's statement. You see, for the first 8 years of his life, Naruto-kun was in a civilian orphanage or on his own in an apartment. People told him that his parents abandoned him because he was a demon brat. The only thing that reassured him was me, telling him that his parents were good people. However, on the second day of his academic career, he came to me and told me he didn't want to attend the academy. After some talking, Naruto-kun was able to convince me that he would be better off taking the Tokubetsu Genin test than he was with the academy. While explaining to him the basics, I let something slip. After that, I was forced to tell him the truth. Tell me, Inuzuka-san, how do you tell an 8-year-old that the villagers were right and that your mother abandoned you because she thinks you are a demon? Or how about the fact that she is training your twin baby sister to kill you? Lately, Naruto-kun has confided in me that after he was first told that he would sometimes come home expecting to be attacked by the same woman who gave him life. Naruto-kun has never really had any human contact in his life, so being forced to interact with your family, whom he dislikes, on a daily basis, it has forced his emotions to the limits. Hana stared slack-jawed at his story. So Naruto-san has mood swings like that because he doesn't know how to react to us? Hana asked, making Sarutobi nod. Partially correct. You see, while Naruto does have mood swings due to your family and the arrival of Kushina and her daughter, He does over-exaggerate it. Hana's eyes widened at this news and she yelled. Why? Why would he over-exaggerate it? Sarutobi gave a sad smile and said. To keep people away from him. Hana gasped at that. Why? Hana said, not being able to force any more out. When Naruto was younger he always tried to make friends. However, every friend he made was always ripped away from him, leaving Naruto alone and hurt. Two of those times stood out vividly in the little boy's mind. The first was a friend he made on his first day at the academy. He and his friend hit it off really well, they had a lot in common. His friend had invited him over for lunch and he was so excited. As he arrived, however, all he was met with was hatred from his new friend's mother. The next day at the academy his friend came in hurt and wouldn't even acknowledge that he existed. The second time was after Naruto-kun started his training. He had a sensei by the name of Gekko Hayate. This man was Naruto-kun's kenjutsu teacher as well as the closest thing to a brother Naruto-kun had ever had. Whenever Hayate had a C-rank mission he would let Naruto-kun tag along and fight alongside him. Hayate had been there for Naruto-kun's first kill, he had been there when Naruto-kun first became Kemari no Genagen, he had been there for Naruto-kun's first kiss by one of the girls they freed. He was Naruto-kun's best friend. So when Hayate started talking about one Miss Azuki Yugao, Naruto-kun was naturally curious as to why the girl wouldn't date Hayate. So one day Naruto-kun followed her. After watching her for one day Naruto-kun came to a horrific realization. The reason that Azuki-san wouldn't date Hayate was because of him. So the next day Naruto watched and waited until he saw Hayate and Azuki-san together. Once he did, he stepped up to them. Once he was in front of them he started to goad Hayate. After about 10 minutes Naruto got his desired affect and Hayate hit him. Lying on the ground Naruto watched as Azuki-san pulled Hayate away. Naruto decided then that he would construct a mask so that no one would get close. He figured that if no one got close then they couldn't be taken away from him. Hana stared at the ground as she heard the stories. Damn it. Team 10 Forest of Death Naruto stared around the clearing to the beaten bodies of the mist nins that decided they wanted a piece of his team. Shino, what scroll they got? Kiba asked as he kicked the mist nin that was slowly gaining consciousness. It seems Kami favors us today. It is a heaven scroll. Naruto smiled at the news. Well, guys, who wants to hunt a snake? Naruto asked, getting a howl from Kiba and a light smirk from Shino. Team 10 shot into the forest towards where Naruto has sensed the thief. It had taken 3 days, but they were finally closing in on that silver-haired bastard. Just as Team 10 was about to head out to attack the silver-haired genin, they felt a large burst of malevolent chakra. Shino turned towards the blonde and said, "That is near Sasuke's team. My bugs also sense the whirlpool team near them as well." Naruto looked towards where he sensed the silver-haired genin. If we go we'll never be able to catch up to him. Naruto responded and then looked at Shino. Seeing the worried look he held on his face, Naruto sighed. Damn it. Kiba, let's go change of objective. Naruto yelled, making the feral boy raise an eyebrow. Why decide he's not worth it? Kiba asked, making Naruto shake his head. Nope, we're going to go save Shino's wannabe girlfriend. Was all Naruto said and jumped off towards the pulse of malevolent chakra. It took 30 minutes of straight travel to reach to sight of the Charka. What they saw pissed Shino off beyond any reason. There in the clearing was 2 knocked out whirlpool nin. Sasuke stood off the side, strange flame-like tattoos adorning his face, Aiko pinned between his body and a tree. You're the daughter of the 4th. You would birth strong children for the Uchiha. Sasuke said, his voice holding a menacing quality. Just as Sasuke leaned in towards the girl, a voice cut through the clearing. You will release Namikaze-san immediately. Sasuke turned towards the voice and glared when he saw Shino standing there in the clearing. I'd do what he says. I've never seen Shino mad, or any other emotion really. So I'd watch where you tread. Sasuke turned his gaze to the new voice and growled. Kemari. Naruto smirked when he heard his name. Yes, But your fight isn't with me today, Sasuke. Naruto said and pointed to Shino, who was unbuttoning his sleeves. Release her, Uchiha, or you will not walk away from here unscathed. Shino said, making Sasuke smirk. So bug boy, you really think you can take me and my new power? Sasuke asked, making Shino raise his right arm. You continue to ignore me, Uchiha. Devour. Shino said, releasing the swarm tiny black beetles. Sasuke threw the red-haired Namikaze to the side and started doing hand seals. Kaiden. Hausenka fire release. Mystical fire flower, Sasuke yelled, shooting out multiple blasts of fire. Sasuke's eyes widened as he saw the beetles shoot right through the fireballs and continued towards him. Sasuke jumped to the side only for the beetles to follow him. Aiko watched as Shino controlled the mass of insects with small waves of his hand. How? My mom told me that the biggest weakness that the Aburame hold is to fire. Aiko asked, gaining a light chuckle from beside her. Turning towards the sound, Aiko saw the smiling face of Inuzuka Kiba. Your mother's information would normally be right, but even though she gave birth to him, she doesn't know Kemari very well. Kiba said, making Aiko growl. What do you mean? What does that demon have to do with this? Aiko said through gritted teeth. From the first day this team was made, Kemari somehow knew our weaknesses. He knew Shino was weak against fire, and he knew that I was brash and would rush into things headfirst. I don't know how he did it, but over the last 2 months we've been a team. Kemari has been able to take those weaknesses and almost smother them. Now Shino's bugs don't have a problem with fire, and hell, soon he'll be able to use jutsu, all because of Kemari. So while you may think of him as a demon, I'm afraid I'd have to disagree. Kiba said, his eyes not once leaving the fight. Aiko glared at the feral boy. You have no idea what you're talking about. Aiko said, making Kiba chuckle. Don't I? According to the Hokage, the only reason that my family wasn't shamed was because of Kemari. You, whom has never even spoken to him, is calling him a demon. You know as much as I love my mother, when it comes to Kemari, she is just like you, so I know what it's like for a parent to tell you to stay away from someone, but you know eventually you have to stop being a pup and start walking on your own. Just give it some thought, Shino's about to win. At those last words, Kiba walked away and Shino's bugs latched onto Sasuke and secreted their toxin onto the boy's skin. Ah, my hand! Sasuke yelled as the insect's toxin slowly started to burn his hand. Shino recalled his insects and turned away from the Uchiha. I warned you, Uchiha, that you wouldn't leave here unscathed. Should you ever touch Namikaze-san again, you will not get off so lucky. With that, Shino walked up to the young redhead and asked, Are you alright? Aiko looked up at the face of Shino and smirked. Yeah, you just got to him before I could act, she said, making Shino smile lightly. I'm glad. Do you need any help with your teammates? Shino asked and was surprised to see tears form in her eyes. Kyokusen, the Uchiha, Aiko jumped into Shino's arms and cried into his chest. Shino wrapped his arms around the crying girl only for a wispy voice to say, Your teammates are fine, Namikaze, stop being a baby. Aiko glared at the blonde sitting in the tree branch he'd been in the entire fight. Shut up, demon. I know you don't care if someone dies, but humans actually care about our dead. Aiko yelled, making Naruto stare off into space. Who will bury you when you die? Naruto mumbled to himself, making Kiba give him a funny look. What was that demon? Aiko's yell broke Naruto out of his thoughts. It matters not, and besides, your teammate is alive. Naruto said and threw a rock at her dead teammate. Hearing him groan, Aiko's eyes widened. Kyo, are you alive? Hearing him groan again, Aiko jumped from Shino's arms and ran towards her teammate. Shino watched all of this, suddenly missing the warmth her body provided. Shino, let's go, we still need to make it to the tower. Naruto said, making Shino nod and follow the boy out of the clearing. My insects say that they smell your blood, Kemari-san, are you harmed? Shino asked, making Naruto chuckle. No, just a stray kunai nicked me. Naruto responded, making Shino raise an eyebrow. Kemari doesn't get hit, let alone by someone like the Uchiha. 2 days later, Tower Arena. All the Chunin hopefuls stood in arena floor staring at the stage that held the Hokage. Congratulations to all those who have made it this far. I would first like to say that I am proud of how strong each of you are. However, I'm sorry to say that we still have far too many to continue, so we are going to have some preliminary matches. Okay, these matches are going. An oddly sickly voice cut the Hokage off. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, but I think it would be best if I took over the explanation from now on. Hayate said, making the older man smile. Yes, of course, continue. Sarutobi said, stepping back and allowing the sickly ninja to continue. Now then, is there anyone who would like to forfeit? Hayate asked. At this, the silver-haired genin from the first exam raised his hand. I'm afraid that I just don't have the chakra for it, he said. Just as Hayate was going to declare it off, a light airy chuckle stopped him. Oh, not enough chakra, you say? Tell me, thief, what type of techniques do you use that a Junin-level chakra pool isn't enough? Everyone turned towards the voice to see Naruto leaning against the back wall with his arms crossed. The silver-haired genin smiled at Naruto and responded. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, but I think your senses are off. I mean, I'm hardly standing right now. Naruto smirked at that and walked up and leaned in and whispered to the silver-haired boy. I know exactly who you are, Yakushi Kabuto. Officially you are a medic nin in training and a genin of Konoha. Unofficially, however, you are that snake bastard's little buddy. So let's get this out of the way now. I don't care if it's now and here or later, however, I will kill you before you cause any trouble for the old man. Do I make myself clear, Kabuto? Kabuto's eyes widened as he heard this info. Turning to the proctor, Kabuto smiled. Is it too late to change my mind? Everyone was confused at what happened, but Hayate allowed it. Good. Could all the contestants except Nara Shikamaru and Tsuchi-kin leave the arena floor, please? Hayate asked, making all the genin move up the steps to the stands. As the Sarutobi sat watching the Chunin hopefuls prepare, he couldn't help but smile as he saw the smoke of his pipe start to make shape. Make sure I'm up against Kabuto in this fight, old man, and I'll explain later. Looking over at Naruto, Sarutobi gave an almost invisible nod. Naruto smiled as he saw that. So you all made it to the preliminaries. That's good to see. Naruto turned towards the voice to see Inuzuka Tsume and Inuzuka Hana along with Shino's parents. Naruto smiled as he saw Kiba jump towards his mom and started telling her and his sister about his fights in the forest. Glancing over towards the Aburame family, Naruto saw Shino's parents asking about his performance. Quickly hiding the want and need in his single visible eye, Naruto walked away from them and started checking his supplies. While Naruto was busy trying to get his mind off of the family moment that was happening, a voice stopped his rummaging. Uzumaki-san. Recognizing the voice, Naruto sighed. It's Kemari, actually, Azuki-san. Naruto said, causing the purple hair girl nod. Oh, then my apologies, Kemari-san. Naruto sighed at that and said. Stop trying to polite, we both know you hate me and I'd prefer if you were being honest. Now what is it? Here to wish me death? Azuki jumped when he said that. No, that's not it at all. Yugao said frantically, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Then what is it, Azuki-san? Naruto asked, making Yugao sigh. Well, it's just. Naruto rolled his eyes as he heard this. Azuki-san, I hate to be rude, but if you don't have anything to say, then I have other stuff that I need to attend to. As Naruto turned away from her, he heard. Hayate-kun misses you. Naruto stopped at that and had to blink away tears. His fist tightened in anger. Yes, but Gecko-san and I stopped talking years ago when he made it perfectly clear how he felt about me. If I recall, Azuki-san, you were there when he did. Naruto said, making Azuki look at the floor. Please, I know that you tricked Hayate-kun into doing that so that I'd give him a chance. And we've never been happier, but it's strange sometimes whenever we talk about children, Hayate-kun would just space out and start playing with the black piece of cloth he has tied around his arm. Please, Kemari-san, I'm asking you to try and talk to Hayate-kun. Please. Naruto listened to those words and sighed. He still has that thing, huh? It doesn't matter, I'm not going to try and talk to him. Yugao's head fell at that. But, I'll not ignore him should he try and talk to me. Yugao's eyes widened at that and a smile found its way onto her face. Thank you, Kemari-san. Thank you. Yugao whispered and disappeared. Naruto smacked his head lightly against the wall and said, "Why do I keep doing this to myself?" Naruto was brought out of his musing by a hand lightly gripping his shoulder. Spinning quickly to break the hold the hand had, Naruto came face to face with a smiling Inuzuka Hana. Hey, you alright? Hana asked, making Naruto raise an eyebrow. Of course, what would make you think differently? Naruto asked, making Hana point behind him. I don't know, maybe the new head-shaped dent in the wall. Hana responded, making Naruto chuckle. Yes, I suppose that would be a hint. However, it is nothing you have to worry about. It won't disrupt anything on the team. Naruto said, making sure to put emphasis on the word team. Hana was about to respond when an announcement came over the intercom, causing her to frown. Naruto, however, smiled when he heard the announcement. Kemari Naruto vs. Yakushi Kabuto. Naruto smirked and jumped over the rail leading into the arena. Hana watched as the boy just and quietly whispered, "Good luck." Landing gracefully in a crouch, Naruto smiled as he saw the silver-haired genin on the other side of the arena. Tell me, Yakushi, are you prepared to face your phantoms? As Naruto said this, Kabuto laughed. What a cute little saying, Naruto-kun. Are you asking me if I'm prepared to die? Kabuto asked, making Naruto smirk. Nope, because by the time I'm done with you, death would be a release. Naruto said, making Kabuto raise an eyebrow. Oh, so tell me, Naruto-kun, how are you going to do that? Are you going to use that infamous Genagen? Kabuto asked, making Naruto smirk. No, you by yourself aren't worthy enough to see my eye. No, I'm going to kill you the old-fashioned way. At that, Naruto summoned his blades. With a hell of a lot of blood and gore, Naruto finished and dropped into an attack position. Stands Whirlpool Team _ Aiko listened to the two teens that stood down in the stadium and grew confused. Genagen. What the hell is that? She asked her mother, only to receive a confused look. To be honest with you, hun, I have no idea. Kushina answered back. The Genagen is the eye that Kemari-san keeps hidden under his headband. A calm voice said, making the two girls turn towards the voice. Seeing the owner, Aiko smiled. Shino-kun, you know about the demon's eye? Aiko asked, making Shino raise an eyebrow. No, Namikaze-san, I know nothing of demons. However, the Genagen that my teammate holds is an eye of substantial power. Shino responded, making Aiko raise her eyebrow. What does it do? She asked while Shino walked up to the railing and looked down at the fight that was happening below. To quote my teammate, it has a plethora of abilities. However, seeing as we are in a competition and it is not my information to give, I'm afraid I can't tell you what they are. Shino said, making Aiko groan. Come on, Shino-kun, can't you just give me a little hint? Aiko pleaded, making Shino chuckle lightly. However, Shino soon grew serious. Namikaze-san. Aiko looked up at the boy when she heard the serious tone he held in his voice. When you face Kemari-san, you are going to try and kill him, aren't you? Shino asked, drawing a tight glare from the red head beside him. Yes, he needs to die for what he's done. The girl growled out, making Shino mentally sigh. Turning away from the two girls, Shino started walking away. After about 10 feet, Shino stopped. Namikaze-san, when you fight your brother, should he bring out his eye, run as fast and as hard as you can, because if he is able to get even a single ability off with that eye, you will never be the same. Shino said, and then walked back to his own team, leaving behind two very confused redheads. Stadium floor _ Kabuto smiled when he saw the blonde boy's weapons. Oh, Naruto-kun, so that is how you want to play, is it? Fine, then I'll see you blades with my own. Chakura no Mesu, chakra scalpel, Kabuto said, making Naruto smile. Oh, shiny. Tell me, Kabuto, is that the best you're going to do? Because if it is, then I'm afraid you aren't going to last that long. Naruto said, gaining a smirk from the silver-haired boy. I'm sorry to say this is all I'll need to beat you, Naruto-kun. Naruto chuckled at that response. We'll see about that. Mikazuki no Mai. Naruto said with a smirk. Kabuto's eyes widened as the boy seemed to split into three pieces. Kabuto watched the three as they dashed towards him. Where is he going to attack? Left, right, behind. Kabuto's eyes widened as he heard a voice speak. Over here. Kabuto looked up to see the black-clad boy coming down on him. Everyone in the stadium was on the edge of their seats as the dust from Naruto's impact started to clear. Team 10 stared in amazement as they saw the chakra-covered hand of Kabuto gripping the blade of Naruto. Kabuto smirked at the blonde. What was that supposed to do to me, Naruto-kun? Did you really think that would work? Kabuto asked, drawing a smirk from Naruto. Nope, but start counting because I'm just the goddamn distraction. Kabuto's eyes widened at that. Before the silver-haired boy could react, an uppercut sent him into the air. All of the other genin teams watched as the bold-haired boy leapt into the air after the silver-haired traitor. Kabuto brought his arms over his chest as he saw the kick the blonde was aiming for it. Kabuto's eyes widened in amazement, however, when he saw the boy's foot seem to pass through him. The blonde-haired boy flipped in the air and sent a punch at the older boy's solar plexus. Kabuto moved to catch it again, only for Naruto's hand to pass through his own as if it weren't even there. What the hell is going on? Kabuto thought as he saw the boy go for an axe kick to the throat. Kabuto flipped in the air and landed, looking around for the blonde-haired boy. Kabuto glared at the seemingly empty arena. All right, brat, where are you? Kabuto asked, only for his eyes to widen as he heard Haijutsu, Chuburu Kemari. As those words rang out through the arena, Kabuto was sent into the air again. Team 10 arena stands. Team 10's eyes widened as they saw the silver-haired boy getting kicked around by a seemingly invisible force. Kiba turned towards his usually silent teammate and asked, Hey Shino, do you know what that move is? Shino shook his head at the feral boy's question. No Kiba, I do not. However, I do fear for Namikaze-san should she be forced to face said technique. Shino responded, making Kiba lightly sigh. Man, can't you go for someone who doesn't want to kill our teammate? Kiba asked, making Shino blush. Arena floor. Naruto smiled as he saw Kabuto drag himself out of the small crater he created. Come on now, Kabuto, it's been 2 minutes already. Naruto said, drawing a confused look from Kabuto. Why is he timing it? What does it matter how long it's been? His thoughts, however, were interrupted, by a fist to the back of his head. Picking himself back up, Kabuto turned and looked in amazement as he saw Naruto standing there. But how? I know that wasn't a clone I was looking at. Kabuto asked, making Naruto chuckle. Haijutsu. Asobi Dedo, secret technique. Playing dead, this jutsu allows the user to teleport a small distance to allow him to get closer to his opponent. Now hurry up, Kabuto, 3 minutes have passed. Naruto said, making Kabuto growl. Why the air you keeping time? Kabuto yelled, making Naruto chuckle. You still haven't figured it out yet, have you? Naruto asked, making Kabuto go wide-eyed. Figured what out? Kabuto asked, making Naruto grin viciously under his mask. In 10 minutes you will die. As those words rang out through the stadium, everyone's eyes widened. Kabuto looked at the blonde wide-eyed. You lie. Naruto raised an eyebrow at that and shrugged. Believe what you want, but in 6 minutes this match is over. So really I don't care if you believe me. Naruto said, making Kabuto slightly frantic. No, I'll not die. I'll kill you first, I'll not die. As Kabuto yelled this statement, everyone's eyes widened at the explosion of malevolent chakra. Kabuto smiled as the flame-like marks spread throughout his body. Haha, still think you have a chance at beating me, brat? Do you really think you can beat Lord Orochimaru's power? Kabuto yelled, making Naruto smile under his mask. That's right, Kabuto. Release it, show me that power that your so-called lord has given you. Show it to me, Naruto said and raised his forehead protector to show his closed eyelid. So that I can steal it. Naruto finished and opened his eye. Everyone watched as the purple aura that used to be surrounding Kabuto started to be drawn towards the spinning blue eye. Spectators stands. Anko was about to jump down into the arena and stop Naruto from proceeding when a firm hand stopped her. Turning towards the hand, Anko saw one Sarutobi Asuma. Glaring at the human freight train, Anko yelled, "What the hell are you doing, Asuma? Let me go. I've got to stop that brat before he does something stupid." Asuma chuckled at that. "Calm down, Anko, I assure you Naruto-kun will be fine," Asuma said, drawing an incredulous look from the fishnet-wearing woman. "Are you stupid, Asuma? This is Orochimaru's cursed seal we're talking about. You have no idea what having that power in your body is like. If that boy takes that power, then he'll be susceptible to Uchimaru's influence," Anko said, only to hear a light chuckle from behind the two Junin. "I think you underestimate the power of Naruto Kunzai, Anko-chan." Turning towards the voice, Asuma chuckled. "You would know, wouldn't you, Pops?" Asuma said, making the old Hokage smile. "Yes, I'm afraid I've been on the receiving end of that more than I care to tell." This drew a chuckle from both of the Sarutobi males. Anko looked at the Hokage and said, "Sarutobi, I know you think the world of the kid, but I mean this is Orochimaru we're talking about. No matter how powerful that is, I highly doubt that it could control the power of the cursed seal," Anko said, making the old Hokage chuckle. "If I didn't know any better, Anko, I would agree with you. However, no matter how strong Orochimaru's cursed seal is, that I will tame its power without a problem," Hiruzen said, making Anko give the man a speculating look. "How can you be sure?" "I mean, the only one who could win against Orochimaru's power was the Yondaime," Anko said, making Sarutobi chuckle. "Yes, but even the Yondaime was brought down by one being, Anko-chan," Hiruzen said, making Anko raise an eyebrow. "What does the Kyuubi have to do with this, Sarutobi?" Anko asked, making Hiruzen laugh. "Anko-chan, I've been on the receiving end of 3 out of the 4 powers of his eye, and I have never seen something so powerful, but let me tell you, the most surprising thing I've ever seen was when Naruto-kun's eye turned a solid red." Anko gasped at those words. "You mean?" Hiruzen nodded at her question. "That's right, Naruto had not only stolen from the nine-tailed fox, but he had taken what he stole and made it his own. All the chakra that he stole from the fox is now located in his right eye socket, never to be allowed to pass into his body without permission," Hiruzen explained, making Anko go wide-eyed. "Does that mean the Kyuubi is dead?" Anko asked, making Hiruzen shake his head. "No, Naruto wasn't stupid enough to try and steal all of the fox's chakra in one go. However, if what Naruto-kun says is true, then he's not exactly the Kyuubi anymore either," Hiruzen said, making Anko raise an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" Anko inquired, making Asuma laugh and answer this time. "According to Naruto-kun, he stole enough chakra from the fox and contained it in his eye that the fox only has 7 tails left." Anko laughed when she heard that. "The point I'm trying to make, however, Anko-chan, is that no matter how strong, or how evil Orochimaru's cursed seal is, it is no match for the 9-tailed fox," Hiruzen said, making Anko nod. All eyes turned back to the arena floor, however, when they felt another explosion of malevolent chakra. Arena floor. Naruto flexed his hands as he felt the power flow through him. Looking up at Kabuto, Naruto saw the evil smirk on his face. "Ha brat, now you have no chance but to accept Lord Orochimaru. The power of his cursed seal will draw you to him," Kabuto yelled, making Naruto look back at his hands and flex them. "You really are a fool. I feel no such pull towards that man," Naruto said, his voice void of emotion. Kabuto's eyes widened. "What? How can you not feel to pull from the cursed seal?" Kabuto yelled, making Naruto give him a blank look. "I see now. With this chakra I gain a superior ability to control the chakra that circulates through my body. However, in doing so I hold no feelings," Naruto explained in a monotonous voice. Kabuto growled in anger and shot towards the blonde-haired boy. "Don't ignore me," Kabuto yelled, making Naruto look up at him. Kabuto faltered when he saw the spinning dark purple orb in the boy's right socket. Kabuto shot his hand forward, his Chakura no Mesu still activated. Everyone stared in amazement as Naruto reached up and stopped the scalpel with his bare hands. Kabuto's eyes widened. "How? Your tendons and muscles should have cut from that. Kabuto growled at the blonde boy. In this form the control I have over the chakra in my body surpasses that of Tsunade of the Sannin. I merely coated my hand in a protective layer of chakra to stop the effects of your scalpel. Naruto explained in a monotonous voice. Kabuto's eyes widened. You really are a phantom. Kabuto yelled and broke the hold Naruto had on him. Naruto watched as the silver-haired genin jumped back away from him. Who will bury you when you die? Naruto asked in that same monotonous voice. This question drew everyone's attention. Kabuto glared his eyes at that and asked. What did you say, phantom? Naruto looked up at the people in the stands with a blank emotionless look. It was something a mercenary said to me when I first gained my title. Do you know what the difference between us humans and phantoms like you is? We bury our dead. Tell me, phantom, who's going to bury you when you die? And now that no emotions cloud my thoughts, I can't help but agree with he who spoke those words to me. So now I ask you. Who will bury you when you die? Naruto asked, his face and voice portraying no emotion. The only response Naruto got was a growl in anger from the silver-haired boy. Naruto sighed at that. I suppose it doesn't matter now. Naruto said, making Kabuto glare at him. Oh, and why not, phantom? Kabuto asked, making Naruto look at him with that emotionless eye. Because your time is up. Haijutsu. Makajuki, secret technique. New moon. As Naruto said those words, a unanimous gasp rang out through the stadium as blood spurted from Kabuto's neck. Naruto watched as the boy fell to the ground and deactivated his eye. Lowering his forehead protector, Naruto spoke, emotion finally filling his voice. It's useless to try and heal yourself, Kabuto. I made sure to sever your spine in that attack. With your healing ability, I'd say you have about 45 seconds until you bleed out. Was all Naruto said before turning his back on the dying genin on the floor. Naruto smirked when he heard the words. Shusha Kemari Naruto. Stands Team 10 _. The three Inuzukas and one Aburame stared at the blonde-haired boy as he took his place beside them. They stood there in silence for about 5 minutes watching the fight between the blonde-haired Sunanin and a bun-haired Konoha nin. Kiba, finally having enough of the silence, asked. Kemari, how the hell did you do that? I mean, you weren't even near the guy. Naruto chuckled at the feral boy's question. I figured you would be the one to crack first. Naruto said, drawing a light growl from Kiba, making Naruto chuckle again. Calm down, Mud, and I'll explain. You see, the Makajuki is an assassination technique that I devised using the same theory as my Chuburu Kemari technique with a little bit of Asuma sans Hein, flying swallow. You see, unlike most Tiahutsu techniques that hurt automatically, mine works with the principle of using a Chakura no Rakuin, chakra mark, to brand the opponent. Then as long as the mark is there, then I could use the attack. However, the only Rakuin that I have been able to make so far is a one-use. Hopefully later on I'll be able to use multiple shots from a single Rakuin, but I digress. Using that principle, I'm able to channel a Rakuin through my blade to slice the opponent. I use the theory from the Hein to extend the reach of my application of the Rakuin. The downside, however, is that it takes 10 minutes for the mark to reach a suitable depth for me to use it as a killing move. The upside is that the Rakuin will last a week until it disappears. Naruto explained, making his team's eyes widen. Wait, so you could kill someone up to a week after you deliver the Rakuin? Tsume asked, getting a nod in response. Shino gave Naruto a confused look and asked. And how do you apply these marks to your opponents? Naruto smiled and tapped his forearm bracer. My bracers and shin guards both have seals on them that allow me to put a chakra mark on my opponent. What did you just this? They were a fashion statement. Naruto responded, getting an understanding look from the bug user. The team sat in silence watching the matches and couldn't help but sigh at some of them. Sakura vs the Namikaze. Really? Naruto thought as he saw Sakura getting knocked around like a rag doll. Naruto sat silently watching as fight after fight showed nothing but foolish notions of power and skill. Naruto's single blue eye drew into a glare, however, when he heard the next matchup. Inuzuka Kiba vs Sabaku no Gaara. Kiba whooped in excitement. Alright, my turn. Let's go, Akumaru. Kiba yelled and jumped into the arena. Naruto tightened the grip he held on the bar when he saw Hayate start the match. Be careful against him, Kiba. He's not like you, Naruto whispered, worry showing clearly in his voice. Arena floor. Kiba smirked at the small red head that stood across from him. Jujin Bunshin. Kiba yelled, turning Akumaru into a perfect clone of himself. Gaara watched as the two feral humans rushed at him only to be stopped by a wall of sand. Kiba jumped back away from Gaara and tried from another angle only to be stopped again. This process continued for about 5 minutes before Kiba jumped away from the red-haired nin and called Akumaru away. No matter what way we go about attacking him, it doesn't work. Looks like we're going to have to do this another way, Akumaru. Kiba said, smiling at his clone. The clone smiled and growled. Ready. Let's go, Gatsuga. Kiba yelled while he and his clone started spinning into a twister of claws and teeth. Gaara stared on impassively as he saw the two approaching twisters. At speeds only rivaled by Rock Lee, the twisters rammed into and past Gaara's defenses. Everyone watched as the twisters tossed the Suna Nin into the air and repeatedly hit him. Kiba and Akumaru slid to a stop, panting heavily on the other side of the arena. Looking over towards Hayate, Kiba smiled. You might as well call it. There is no way he's getting up from that. Kiba yelled with a laugh. A sharp cry of pain, however, cut him off. Looking towards the sound, Kiba was surprised to see a hand made out of pure sand smash Akumaru into the wall of the arena. Kiba looked towards the source to see Gaara standing there, crouched over sand falling from his face. Kiba's eyes widened as he saw the arm of sand turn towards him. Leaping into the air quickly, Kiba smirked as he saw the sand miss him. His smile fell, however, when he saw the hand make a 90-degree turn towards him. Shit, how can I dodge it? I know. Suga, piercing fang, Kiba yelled and spun out of the way of the hand. Everyone watched as Kiba tried to outrun the hand in his Suga and was faring extremely well until another hand appeared and wrenched the boy out of his spin. Slowly the hand brought Kiba to rest about 5 feet above the floor. You have passed my Suna no Tate, armor of sand. For that you must die. Gaara said and slowly started to squeeze his hand closed. Kiba could feel it. The pressure the sand was putting on him. It was slowly becoming too much. Kiba felt his rib crack and screamed in pain. Team 10 stands. Tsume and Hana stared as the youngest Inuzuka was slowly getting crushed. Kiba. Tsume yelled, the worry evident in her voice. Naruto stared down at the field and then turned his eyes towards Inuzuka matriarch. Naruto saw the worry in Hana and Tsume's eyes and couldn't help but feel slightly jealous. How good it must feel to have a family to worry about you, Kiba. Why should you get to feel that joy when I have nothing? Why should you have a family that loves you when mine wishes me death? Why must life favor you while I know nothing but pain? Naruto turned away from the arena and the Inuzuka, not wanting to see any more emotions. As Naruto slowly started walking away, an old memory slowly started to surface. Flashback. A 10-year-old Naruto sat on top of the fourth's head staring at the village as the rising sun set it aflame. Naruto continued to sit and listen as he heard people slowly get up and start their day. Naruto let a small tear escape his eye as he heard the happy voices of children as they ran out of their houses and met up with their friends. Something on your mind, Naruto-kun? A wizened voice asked the blonde boy. Turning towards the voice, Naruto smiled. No, Gigi, I'm fine. Naruto responded, making Hiruzen raise an eyebrow. Oh really? It doesn't look like it. It looks like you're sad about something. Sarutobi said, making Naruto chuckle. You always could read me, Gigi. Naruto said, making Hiruzen smile. Setting himself down besides the blonde boy, Hiruzen smiled. Tell me what's bothering you, Naruto-kun. I'm sure I can help. The old Hokage said, making Naruto sigh. I don't know, Gigi. I guess it's just finally getting to me. Naruto said, making the old man raise an eyebrow. Getting to you, Naruto-kun? Sarutobi asked, making Naruto nod. Yeah, I know you always say that eventually things will change and then I'll make friends, but I don't think that's possible anymore. Naruto said, making the old man give a sad smile. Pulling the young boy into a hug, Sarutobi said, Naruto-kun, you've got to trust me. If you keep trying, I'm sure you'll make friends. You have to understand, Naruto-kun, that a lot of people still fear the Kyuubi's powers, so even though it will be very hard, I'm sure if you try you'll make it. Naruto sighed at that. Thanks, old man, but I can't help but think that I kinda got the short end of the stick here. I mean, when I was born I had a mass on evil chakra shoved into my gut. My father died, my mother abandoned me and is training my sister to kill me. I just can't help but feel like, just for once, some of these people could feel loss like that. Naruto said, making Sarutobi hug him tighter. Never wish that, Naruto-kun. No one should have to face the loss that you've had to bear. That is what people like us are for, Naruto-kun. Sarutobi said, making Naruto give him a confused look. What do you mean that's what people like are for? Naruto asked, making Sarutobi chuckle. Naruto-kun, people with exceptional strength like you and I are here to stop others from having to experience the loss you have felt. Remember that, Naruto-kun, and I'm sure you'll get some friends. Sarutobi said with a smile. _flashback end _ As Tsume saw the blood pouring from Kiba's mouth, heard her son scream in pain, she couldn't take any more. Just as she was about to jump into the ring, she was beaten to it by a black blur that shot past her and jumped into the arena. Up with the Junin that weren't senseis, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled. So you're finally ready to take your role, are you, Naruto-kun? Down in the arena floor, everyone watched as a black-clad foot phased through the arm of sand, only for the sand to explode as the foot came out through the other side. Spinning in midair, a black-gloved hand grabbed the injured feral boy and threw him over its black and gray-clad shoulder. Landing in a crouch, the body blurred again, this time heading towards a small hole in the wall. The blur dodged as spears of sand tried to intercept him. Reaching the hole, the gloved hand grabbed the injured white pup and leapt up onto the railing of the stands. Depositing the bodies of the boy and his into the hands of his mother, Naruto smiled. You should probably get him to a medic. Naruto said, making Tsume nod in agreement and then run off. Once the feral woman was out of sight, Naruto lost his eye smile and did a back flip off of the railing and landed in the center of the arena again, his back to the red-haired Sunanin. Gaara smiled at the sight of the blonde. Oh, Kemari here to let me kill you? Mother calls for your blood. Gaara asked in a slightly psychotic tone. Naruto turned to face the redhead, his hair hiding the top of his face. No, Gaara, I'm here to end this fight. You think that just because you're strong and that you've felt loss, you think that means you can kill those that have it better than you? Naruto whispered, drawing a glare from the red-haired boy. You have no idea of loss. I kill to prove my existence, and I'll continue it with you. Gaara yelled, sending a hand of sand at the boy. Gaara gave an insane smile as he felt his hand connect with something. His smile dropped, however, when a guttural voice yelled, Haijutsu. Kyuubi no Gufu, secret technique. Nine-tailed tornado. Gaara watched as his hand of sand was shredded by a pitch-black tornado, leaving small fragments of glass in its place. Looking towards the source, Gaara saw a horse-sized fox with piercing blue eyes growling at him. Naruto walked up and put his hand on top of the fox's head, instantly calming him. You say I know nothing of loss, Gaara. You say you kill to prove your existence. I say you're wrong. I do know loss. However, if you so wish to continue this fight, then fine. At that, Naruto lifted his head to show a spinning yellow in his socket. Show me, Gaara. Look into my eye and show me those phantoms that you hide in your soul. Naruto said, making Gaara freeze. Gaara could feel it, the anger, the sadness, the loss that all those in his village have felt towards him. He could the hatred his father felt towards him at the waste of a perfectly good weapon. He felt the sadness his sister felt towards him for the loss of her little brother in the creation of this monster. He could feel the loss Kankuro felt whenever Gaara threatened him. Gaara gripped his head in pain. No. No, make it stop. Make them stop. Gaara yelled, falling to his knees in pain. Stop. Gaara yelled, only to receive his wishes all went black at two simple words. Gogyu Fuin, 5-element seal, Naruto yelled and slammed his fingers into the seal of the Sand Jinchuriki. Staring down at the boy, Naruto smiled. When this is over, Gaara, you'll be able to face those phantoms and become the ninja you should be. Naruto said with a smile. Looking up into the stands, Hana's eyes widened when she saw the blood pouring down his face. Looking back down at Gaara, Naruto dropped to his knees and screamed in pain. As Naruto fell backwards, however, a pair of feminine arms caught him. As the blonde lost consciousness, the feral woman smiled. Thank you, Naruto-san, thank you.